These docks are reserved for the Imperial Envoy of Adir.
Hey! Turn around and sail back to wherever you came from. This dock is reserved for the Imperial Envoy. And she's late. Probably died at sea. Good riddance. What?
Nice.
Forgive me, Envoy. I meant nothing by it. A slip of the tongue. Can we start over? Name's Cynric, captain of the local militia. We're a scrappy bunch, but we know our way around Paradise. Unlike most Adirans who couldn't find their ass with both their hands. Oh, present company excluded. They told me you were godlike, but I didn't know what to expect. Your face, it's so... Well...
You're doing great.
Forgive me, again. We're having a bit of an emergency. No doubt you've come for the Adiran ambassador, but he's gone, along with our Claviger. Well, he's the closest thing we have to a local authority. Part keeper of the keys, part bald fist.
Paradise's mayor, more or less. Most people out here aren't fond of established hierarchies and titles. So, we made up some new ones.
Sorry, Envoy, but no one's here to receive it.
Nonsense. There's a small army of pickpockets, smugglers, and scoundrels between those walls who'd be happy to take it off your hands.
Just ignore him. They traveled northwest to the Strangle Route, past the old Pargroon Wall.
You need to find the ambassador, and I need to find the Claviger. How's about we partner up? Name's Kai. I've been a soldier, a sailor, and a halfway decent baritone.
He's a troublemaker, but a damn qualified one at least.
I knew you had a soft spot for me. Claviger Amond helped me get on my feet when I came to Paradise a few years ago. Last time we spoke, he sounded worried about things. If he's gotten himself into trouble, I owe it to him to help out. If there's one thing you can say about Rawatayans, we're no backstabbers. We handle our disagreements face to face, with lots of yelling and violence. You'll vouch for me, right, Captain?
Better to have him and not need him, I guess.
That's the nicest thing you've said about me all day.
Kai, before you go, the Envoy is no stranger to the wilderness, but you and I both know the living lands can be, unpredictable. Make sure she comes back alive, or the Steel Garrote will have my head.
Better yours than mine.
The Steel Garrote are here as guests, helping Adirans like yourself keep the peace. Or so they say.
That's certainly what they'd like you to believe. Sounds like their reputation back home in Adir isn't any better than it is here.
They're an order of religious cutthroats, sharpening their blades for the glory of the burned queen. Oof, creepy bunch, too. Who needs enemies when you have friends like the Steel Garrote? You tell me, Envoy. The Adirans came to our shores with their soldiers, their bureaucrats, and their cult of murderers. Asking a lot of nosy questions is a good way to end up with a knife in your back. Speaking of the Steel Garrote, fair warning, their leader, Inquisitor Ludwine, is eager to greet you. Or possibly interrogate you. I heard she's a monster, the personal handmaiden of the burned queen. But that's not all. They say she fell in battle in the Deadfire, and death spat her back out. Not if you value your life.
We'll have time to worry about Ludwig later. First, we've got to find your ambassador and my Claviger. I'll bet you're glad to be on dry land after that voyage. Come on, let's get you some fresh air. Pargrunen left these beacons all over the island. They're good for finding your way around.
The city's getting crowded. Pretty soon the Adirans will outnumber us 3-1.
Why doesn't the Claviger put a stop to it?
Why do you think, dimwit? He's nice and cozy in the ambassador's pocket. That's enough for now. We got a listener.
Oh, what awful stench. Someone needs a bath.
If this can hold me, you'll be fine. Just don't look down. looks like that broke off of something. Wonder where it goes. They weren't much of an artist, but I think that's upstream by the Pargreen Wall. Well, nothing ventured, envoy. Ready, aim.
I've come in search of lost treasures. Have you heard any rumors of such things in the area?
I suppose so, actually. There are some Pargrunan ruins to the north, just across the river from the Strangle route. The Pargrunan are said to have left behind many treasures.
Very good. I will remember you. You will be justly compensated upon my return.
Yeah, sure. Just be careful, all right? The land gets more dangerous the further north you go. No telling what might be waiting for you.
Do not worry, little man. I have stared down and have no fear.
Please, how hard is it to answer a question?
I don't trifle with souls, ma'am.
They're tearing my home apart. Never mind. I can't believe how rude everyone is around here. How hard could it be to find a watcher? I have a little money, if that's what you mean. I assumed I'd have to pay the watcher, though. I have a strange problem, you see. I'm clearly under some kind of curse. A band of Zorips invaded my house. What am I gonna do? Why did they do anything? They've probably eaten all my food and destroyed my supplies. I don't know what else. First, my ship gets attacked by pirates. Then none of my plants will take. Now this happens? And they won't let me into Paradise to sort it out? The militia. They're scared of some plague. At least that's what they say. I wonder if it's really the Adirans. Keep us out and themselves in. I should never have come here.
Come here for a better life and find a worse one. Wish I hadn't heard that before.
It's hard to put it into words. I just feel like I should be here. I'd heard it was dangerous, but the Glenfathan wilds were dangerous. I thought I was prepared. I had no idea what I was in for. I wanted to grow a little food, save some skates. They never thrived, that's all. Clearly, I have bigger things to worry about. Then take my house key. It's northwest of here. That cabin on the cliff all by itself. Gods know I can't go back. And there's nothing to steal either. The Zorips saw to that. Come back when you've dealt with them, and make sure you get their leader, too. I'm sorry, but I don't think they'll go quietly. You'll have to kill them. Thank you. That may not be worth much coming from a stranger, but I mean it.
Piss off.
Greetings, friend. You look like you could use a fine weapon or a sturdy shield. Not to worry, Volter is here. I suggest you take a look at my wares before you speak to Daggerda. Who knows what mood she's in today? From legitimate sources, clearly. From traders and adventurers, mostly. And a few used pieces from people down on their luck. Apologies, friend. People see me selling weapons on the harbor and call my morals into question. I assure you, all of my wares have been vetted for quality and polished thoroughly to remove any unwanted stains. Well, I believe my wares speak for themselves. Figuratively, I mean.
The living lands are a dangerous place. Heading out to the wilds? Make sure you have everything you need. You don't want to...
Kai, I told you not to show your face around here again.
Come on. You're not still mad about that hunting knife, are you?
All right, no. You're clear. But you better pay up front this time.
I knew you'd come around. You miss me.
I'll let you think that. Now don't mind him. What are you interested in? Yeah, some of the oldest in Paradise. He's a headache, but that's because you want him to come back alive.
So you do care.
I lied to the garrote for you. Do I have to spell it out? What harm could some new armor do? Look good and stay alive.
Welcome to Dawnshore, Traveler. My name is Daggerda. You seem like you could use a nice potion or a bite to eat. And I promise a safe and pleasant transaction, despite whatever Volter told you. Ha! I'm sure he did. He'd rather chase off my customers than admit he was wrong. To be honest, stranger, I'm not inclined to go into it. He knows what he did, and let's leave it at that.
Protect that pretty face. Armor and shields for sale, envoy. Move along, please.
I was here first. I'm not going anywhere.
You're not working or selling something, you're loitering. Clear the way.
Now listen, you might be big in idea, but these are our docks, not yours. You're in for a rude surprise if you think we'll answer to you.
Fine. Have it your way.
Not sure what you were trying to accomplish with that.
I'll piss off.
Don't think you can come over here and try to strong on me, too.
I can't help it. After what happened with Kalisha.
I know, dear, but worrying isn't going to do anything.
You're right. Of course.
Have faith, love.
Oh, you must be the Imperial envoy that just arrived. Hello.
Darling, you don't think that...
I don't know. I'm sure you're very busy, envoy. But do you know of any other ships from Adir that are slated to arrive soon? Is it that easy to tell? Gods, I must be losing my touch.
We're waiting for our son, you see. He's been living in Adir for a number of years now, but is finally coming home.
I just hope he doesn't meet any trouble. I couldn't bear the thought of losing him, too. Not after...
After we lost our little girl. She was working as a mercenary in the Deerwood. Last we heard, she was traveling to Gilded Vale to check in on Alvra, our other daughter.
But she never made it. We can only assume the worst. I can only pray that you're right, but my gut tells me otherwise.
Apologies, Envoy, but we need to keep an eye out for our son. Be safe out there. The Living Lands are unlike anywhere else in Eora.
Still, there is something to be said for the stability that the Adirans bring.
For you, perhaps, if you don't mind ignoring their stance on animancy.
I suppose. It isn't perfect, but in all my years living here, I've never felt so safe.
Ah, well, let's hope they never make it to Fjord. It wouldn't end well.
You say the militia have closed Paradise to newcomers, so where should I go?
Well, there's always the shanty town, but, well, you know.
Yeah. I haven't heard the best things about that place. Is there nowhere else?
Perhaps the Adherents are looking for new recruits.
No thanks. I'd rather risk the journey further inland than throw my lot in with them.
Your funeral, I guess. Why not just stay here? I'm sure you can find work around the landing.
Maybe.
Letters won't turn up.
Gelarde. I'd heard a godlike had come to Paradise.
Oh, hey, Sansa. Comes on a little strong, that's all. He doesn't bite.
But to meet you, what an honor. Who is your patron? Were you drawn to this place? You can? Wait, you're pulling my leg, aren't you? I apologize. Everyone must ask you such things. Listen, you haven't been to the wilds east of the city, have you? Maybe that's for the best. Then have you seen a cartographer in the area? A human, about my height. His name is Girmund. He's my assistant, and I'm worried about him. I sent him to map the eastern wilds. I knew it would be perilous, but it's been a long time since he's written, even for him. Bandits, smugglers, spiders with eyes as big as plates.
You know how many so-called adventurers I've saved out there?
It's an intrepid occupation.
3, this month.
As I said, if you find him and bring me his map, I'll be glad to pay for it. I may even have more work for you. When he last wrote, he was mapping the eastern ruins. Take the letter. It might help. If you find him, bring his work to my shop in Paradise Island. You're welcome anytime. I have quite the assortment of curios. Maybe you'll even buy one of my maps.
Well, that's our marching orders then.
So, how long do you think it'll be before the locals realize how much good we're doing for them?
Realize? They're never going to realize anything of the sort. We'll always be the invaders to them.
No, I don't think so. It's only been a few years. They'll come around eventually, I'm sure of it. They have to.
Sure, whatever helps you sleep at night, kid. I honestly don't care what the locals think. Past time they joined the civilized world. Build another palisade just like the last one. When this one falls, what'll you adherents do then?
Die alongside him, probably. Evil.
Clearly his tits. Someone was actually brazen enough to sneak into the camp for this. This.
People are angry. They can't see how much good we've done for everyone since we got here. They'll come around, though.
Yeah. I just hope Inquisitor Ludwig and the Steel Garrote don't see this and take matters into their own hands.
Agreed. Nobody deserves to die for this. And that's exactly what would happen to those bloody fools.
Watch out once you get past the palisades. The Strangleroot is apparently hostile to life, as the scholars say. Wait a moment. Oh, Earth, eat my soul. You're the envoy. Sorry, didn't mean to be so informal. You sure? 'Cause I hear the godlike he sent here was real unusual looking.
You might not want to finish that thought.
Sorry for the glib tongue. I've tried to be more proper before. Didn't work. I'm no good at niceties, including abiding by most rules. The law and I aren't exactly the best of friends, no. Although, I think that's Adir's problem. I was mostly just stealing food. If you're born to the wrong social class, Adir makes climbing the ranks rather difficult. Anyway, that's all in the past. Learned? No, absolutely not. What I've learned is you can either obey the rules or die. I got caught for my many small, petty crimes and spent about 6 years on the prison galleys. Then, a year ago, an Adiran official came to the jails and told us we could serve the Empire for a shortened sentence or rot. You can guess which I chose. At least there's real sunlight here. I remember when that was a real privilege. Things I'd do for window time. All in all, it's a pretty sweet deal. 3 square meals, bed of my own, maybe even a chance to retire as a clerk. Wouldn't mind being bored stupid for a few years. Better than the alternative. But first, even more palisades. He and the Claviger passed through not long ago. I didn't much like it, but they refused an escort. Less competent than he seems. You think with all the time the ambassador spends working, he'd have more done. No, I hear he's about to sneeze away from swallowing the muck he's paddling in. Poor man. Hot-tempered bastard. I think the ambassador's scared of him, but won't do a thing because the Claviger keeps the wheels turning. Good at its job, though. Purportedly. Bad about his confections. Sweet tooth like a hummingbird's. He and the ambassador make a good pair, honestly. The ambassador talks a lot. The Claviger gets the administrative day-to-day done. About Adir. Same hungry empire that is looking to gobble up the living lands. The one that sends people out to maybe die for its ambitions. Kind of you to ask, envoy. But truth is, not really. Adir's fair and good to the people it thinks deserve compassion. But break its trust, and well, Adir will make you crawl to retrieve the pieces. You can tell it's a place that worships Wodiga. Actually, I miss the pies. The crust's all wrong here. Just take a look down the road. You'll see the last palisades we tried to hold. And the ones before them. We're trying our best to keep the wilds at bay here, envoy. The Strangleroot is hungry. Every day it gets closer. Every day, weirder creatures crawl out from its foliage.
Be careful if you're headed out there. Anyway. Listen, Envoy. I'm here to build defenses against the land. You want geography lessons? Go ask a cartographer. I do know a few things, though. So, ask. No, none. It's all untamed wilderness and feral heathens. I'm joking. Of course there are. There's Fjord, which is run by animancers. Thirdborn, where all the ruffians dwell. And Solus Keep, which has the Pargrunin, who don't like anybody. And happily, too. Sounds like they've got a whole colony of inventors and researchers there. If I want a servant of the Aediran Empire, I might say it sounds fascinating. Groundbreaking, even. I know animancy is considered blasphemous and dangerous, but Fjord supplies most of the produce we eat here in Paradise. They must be doing something right. Miscreants and layabouts and all those great things. The kind of people who can make a life out of impossibly bad situations. Settlements just as rough and tumble. Wouldn't mind having a drink with the locals, to be honest. They sound like they've got stories. You know what I mean? Heard they're under siege right now, though, by those dream thralls. Wouldn't want to be them, between the desert weather and that. I mean, the Pargrunin dwarves won't talk to anybody. They stay inside Solus Keep and just never come out. Ask them then. You're a nice distraction, Envoy. Honestly, I'm more scared of her than Woduka. At least I understand why the Burned Queen is so pissed. Ludwig runs the Steel Garrote, Woduka's order of paladins. The only thing they care about is their Burned Queen. There's honor among thieves, Envoy. But zealots, they'll raise the world for their god. Pargrunin beer is surprisingly terrible. Always trust in a Mauen to know where the best seafood is. Pay attention when the locals tell you something. And watch out for poets. Something's odd about them.
Your armor could use some work. Let's check the watermill for supplies. Oh, look, Paradise and Matter. When heated, the resin forms a hard coat that strengthens weapons and armor. Unseen, unheard.
Incoming Zara.
Those Arabs must have been scavenging supplies, too.
Nothing like a win with a good team.
I think there's something on the upper floor. We might be able to reach it from outside.
Save some skates for the rest of us.
Jolly boys, seems luck is on my side.
Tildy at the bathhouse, more like. I saw her give you those lucky dice.
Oh, I think you're just jealous that she likes me more than you.
If she likes you that much, why is she still charging?
Shut up and roll, you two. You'd think he'd learn not to fall for it.
Look alive! Magran would be ashamed to witness such incompetence. My grandfather could do a better job than you lot. He's missing both arms. Put your backs into it. These palisades aren't gonna hold themselves. Another recruit. By the flames, Cynric finds the strangest types. Oh, you do ya? If you think you're so tough, why don't you prove to me what you've got? Spar with me. I'll take on you and your big blue friend.
If you're sure, I've got plenty of reach.
You mean besides the thrill? I'll give you a weapon of your choice from the armory if you win. Then we call in a priest. But not for me. Oh, it'll be fun, all right. In Magran's name, prepare yourself.
Here we go!
All right, I yield. Okay. It's clear I underestimated your prowess. Fierce as a Rathoon you are, envoy. Now for your prize. Our surplus includes a large hammer, an arquebus, a spear, and a wand. What say you, huh? Stick 'em with the pointy end, clean and simple. Keep your distance in a fight, and the spear will serve you well. So that's your choice. It is done. May Magran's wrath fall upon your enemies, envoy.
Serious, get lost. Unless you're here to trade, don't bother me.
You know, for most people, getting sent to the Living Lands is a punishment. But, according to Cynric, you're the personal envoy of the Emperor of Adir himself. Quite a position. Then I dare say you're better equipped than most who wash ashore here. You must have some truly fascinating stories of past exploits. I'll look forward to it. But in the meantime, I have to wonder, why does the Emperor send his most valuable agent to the Living Lands? A journey to the Living Lands is one way for most. This island's always had a way of swallowing people whole. An entire civilization disappeared here, if you can believe it. And this was all before the Dream Scourge. Now? Refugees are flooding in from outlying regions. The guards are restricting access to the city. And people are making offerings to the gods for everything from hangovers to indigestion, just in case. I like your confidence, just be careful how you express it. Unfortunately, the presence of so many Adiran troops and the rumored exploits of the Steel Garrote paladins supporting them is only making a tense situation worse. I think that's why the Claviger accompanied your ambassador. Exactly. Paradise has been quiet lately, but I don't know how long that'll last. We're talking about an island that has been largely settled by nomads, exiles, and dissidents. People who tend to be suspicious of authority. But what about you? What's your stake in things? Besides your orders, of course. Someone once told me you need more than a little crazy to last out here. I get the feeling you'll fit right in. I'll let you get some rest, but thanks for talking. It's good to be part of a squad again, even if it's just for a while. Night, envoy.